breaking news that is important for all our viewers to see now, and this is with respect to the Basmati rice. Basmati rice prices have now fallen by 5 to 7 rupees per kilogram this week, and this is happening as the escalating unrest in Iran is disrupting trade and is delaying some payments. Remember, Donald Trump's 25% tariff comment on Iran trading partners has added some pressure on Basmati rice and the prices there. The Rice Exporters Federation has warned that prices can also decline even going further in the coming weeks amid the ongoing uncertainties. We also have a special guest joining me is Mr. Dev Garg, the Vice President of Indian Rice Exporters Federation. Welcome to you, sir, and good to have you with us. But this is an important aspect which we need clarity from you on. The Basmati rice prices have been falling over the last week. 5 to 7 rupees per kilogram is what we have already seen as a knee-jerk reaction. In case the situation continues as such, what is your anticipation on the prices of Basmati rice?
Look, we have to understand that where Iran stands. Iran is a very, very important market for India. Iran is the second largest importer of Indian rice in the world. Last year, Iran imported $750 million worth of rice, approximately 850,000 metric tons, which is a very substantial quantity. And all the exports to Iran are primarily of Basmati rice. So we have seen a knee-jerk reaction, as you have stated, and in the coming days, if this situation continues, because as on today, the entire communication network between the importers and Iran and the exporters from India has broken down. The importers are not able to make the payments and they are not able to accept the delivery of the cargo. We have seen a huge stockpile of rice stocks at Bandar Abbas and Chahabar port in Iran. And also in India, at Mundra and Kandla port, we are seeing that a stock of more than 50,000 to 100,000 metric ton of Basmati rice is lying idle. Now, if this situation persists, because as you know that we are seeing a bumper crop this year, India has become the largest producer of rice in the world with 150 million tons of production. We have surpassed even China. So this is a time where we need access to new markets. So a big dent in our second largest market is a major concern for us going forward. And if this situation persists, we can see that in the past when Iran, there was trouble in Iran during 2011, 2012 as well. And we had seen that the prices had fallen by more than 30 to 40% for Basmati. So if the situation persists, it could get much worse.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Garg, how are you looking at, have you looked at approaching the government yet with the current situations of the exporters? What is the current demand from the government at this point in time? Has there been any communication from the government to provide any kind of a relief from this emerging situation that all the exporters of rice are facing at this point?
The Federation has been speaking to various stakeholders, including government agencies. But as on the date, the situation in the very short term, the priority of the government is to ensure the safety and security of the persons who are based in Iran. Trade comes second. So once all that, the primary objectives or the priorities are settled, then the focus will shift to trade. But as on date, we have to, first wait and watch and see the impact on how the situation unfolds. Because we have seen such situation of crisis happen in Iran in the past as well. But Iranian importers have bounced back. They have made the payments and they have restarted the business. Even in countries like Syria and Yemen, where there was even a much worse situation where there was a civil war, we have seen that the rice trade has continued because food is something which finds its way. Because food is what you need. So eventually food will have to be consumed. So we foresee that more likely than not, some solution will come and the long-term impact on the trade will be minimal. So any request or any policy interventions will only be decided once we have a clear picture in front of us that what is the exact impact on trade. So in the very short term, the only advisory that the Federation has issued is for exporters to be a little cautious and not to overstretch their supply chains or not to take any aggressive stands while supplying rice to Iran and be in a kind of a wait and watch and stealth and a bench mode. So we can see that what is the exact, how the situation is unfolding and how the trade can go forward.
Right. From the exporters' end, are you also issuing an advisory against over-leveraged positions that, exporters tend to take because they already anticipate huge demand? You already pointed out to a big production that has already taken place, a robust production at that, and looking at the demand situation out there, have they already had taken, extensive leveraged positions? Will they be at risk in that situation as well?
Look, Iran has been a major market, and more importantly, Iran is a credit driven market. So, most of the exports from India to Iran are on credit. So, as on date, as per the estimates that we have received, about 2,000 crore rupees worth of payments which are due to Indian exporters are there in Iran, which is a very huge, substantial amount for an agri trade. So if tomorrow there is a big issue or the situation doesn't come under control and this 2000 crore rupees is stuck, so this will have a very major impact on the players who are exposed to it. Going forward, we have cautioned everyone not to take very huge risk with Iran, because Iranian market being subject to various sanctions also limits the ability of credit insurance companies and other stakeholders to minimize their risk. So most of the exports that happen to Iran are at stake, are staring at total loss if the situation doesn't come under control.
Absolutely. When we also try to understand on the payments front, how much of a delay do you expect there? 2,000 crore rupees odd worth of exports are lined up. You're saying, what is the risk on that factor, sir?
We have seen that Iranian markets usually, they make payments within 3 to 4 months. And usually, if we see the pattern in the past, these payments have been delayed up to an year when crisis keeps on happening, because we have seen crisis in Iran in the past as well. But exporters, after the situation normalizes on ground, whether there is a regime change or not, that is more or less irrelevant for the trade, because the trade will go on. And whether it is one government or the other, food will have to be consumed and the work will go on. So it is just a wait and watch. I think so. It is too early to call. We will have to wait another 3 to 4 months to understand what the clear picture is. As a trade body, we do not see this situation going out of control. Whatever happens on the ground, we see that the situation may normalize in a few months and the payments will start coming in.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Garg, for being with us and explaining to us the current situation as is being faced by the exporters of Basmati rice. One of the most important markets for India in terms of Basmati rice exports is Iran. And as all of you know, the comments that came in from Donald Trump on 25% additional tariff to the countries which have trade with Iran might be able to face this. And this right now has escalated into a situation when the rice prices have already started to dip 5 to 7 rupees. But the situation may not go out of control. There is still, some kind of anticipation that things will resolve and fall into place over the next couple of days. Of course, all questions will be on, what is the kind of delays that exporters are facing as far as the payments are concerned. And the advisories are being issued by the Rice Exporters Federation at this point in time.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.